As I recall, something seemed different in my life. And I'd been happily married and always busy and productive. And I was teaching school. And I had 2 teenage kids. And something seemed empty. I couldn't put my finger on it. And so I discussed it with my husband, who is very busy and was very busy, and so he didn't take much account of it. And I said I felt he was ignoring me. And I was dramatic and said I would leave him if he didn't pay more attention to me. And I distinctly remember this. It was around October. So he said, all right, I will try to pay more attention to you. And I didn't think it was sickness. As a matter of fact, when I was admitted over here, I didn't think it was sickness. I thought he was sick, and I was well. Well, that kept on for about a year and a half, maybe even 2 years, often at times of feeling that there was something wrong with my life. Things weren't turning out the way I'd expected. I don't mean fairy book stuff, but really, I felt odd and kind of empty. And so my husband said, well, then I decided, well, if he's different toward me, there must be somebody else. And so he said, well, if you think there's somebody else, and of course he declared there wasn't anyone else, if you think there's somebody else, come up with something. And I thought, well, it must be something other than just having an affair. There must be some illegal mess that he's involved in. So there's a lot to go into to tell you about the police, but the thing that really climaxed it was that there was a bank robbery in Maryland, and it was just happened to be in the area where my husband works. I was sure it was he, and I was terribly concerned they was going to do something worse. So finally, I went to the FBI, and I talked to a very important person there, and he took me seriously. Well, I was convinced, and he took me so seriously that he called the agent in Maryland, and they dragged my husband, not dragged, but they arranged to have him go up, and he had to take a lie detector test. And he came through with flying colors because he wasn't involved. And the person out there had been so very nice to me and was most sympathetic and concerned because I was suffering so. Called me to tell me that my husband wasn't involved. They cleared him, and I said, he conned you.
Peg, do you have any trouble sleeping?
Well, I sleep fine now, but before, this summer when I was sick, I didn't sleep all summer. I was sure my husband was gassing me. It was coming in through the attic or the water faucets or something, and I slept outside on the lawn. I slept in the car on rainy nights. I was still working on my proof positive that my husband was ill and needed help. Then, in working on that, I stumbled across family snapshots, and still working, oh, this will do it. And it appeared to me that there were images in there, in the family snapshots. Some pornographic images, some other ones that seemed very contrived. My husband under my foot, and real corny. Well, anyhow, and this was going to be the proof positive. When I had these, I called a psychiatrist and made an appointment for my husband, thinking he was indeed ill. Here was the final proof, and we could save him from his terrible fate. So we went to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist talked to me about 15 minutes, and talked to my husband, and then he handed my husband the papers for me.